Letter from King Leopold II of Belgium to Colonial Missionaries, 1883. Part 1. Reverends, fathers, and dear compatriots, the task that is given to fulfill is very delicate and requires much tact. You will go certainly to evangelize, but your evangelization must inspire above all Belgium interests. Your principal objective in the Congo is never to teach the Nibs to know God, this they know already. They speak and submit to a Mungu, one Zambi, one Zakamba, and what else I don't know. They know that to kill, to sleep with someone else's wife, to lie and to insult is bad. You are not going to teach them what they know already. Your essential role is to facilitate the task of administrators and industrials, which means you will go to interpret the gospel in the way it will be the best to protect your interests. For these things, you have to keep watch on disinteresting our savages from the richness that is plenty in their underground to avoid them get interested in it, and make you murderous and dream one day of overthrowing you.
Your knowledge of the gospel will allow you to find texts ordering and encouraging your followers to love poverty, like happier are the poor because they will inherit the heaven, and it's very difficult for the rich to enter the kingdom of God. You have to detach from them and make them disrespect everything which gives courage to affront us. I make reference to their mystic system and their war fetish, warfare protection, which they pretend not to want to abandon, and you must do everything in your power to make it disappear. Your action will be directed essentially to the younger ones, for they won't revolt when the recommendation of the priest is contradictory to their parents' teachings. The children have to learn to obey what the missionary recommends, who is the father of their soul.
Sing every day that it's impossible for the rich to enter heaven. Make them pay tax each week at Sunday Mass. Use the money supposed for the poor to build flourishing business centers. Institute a confessional system, which allows you to be good detectives denouncing anyone that has a different consciousness contrary to that of the decision maker. Teach them to forget their heroes and to adore only ours. Never present a chair to any that comes to visit you. Don't give him more than one cigarette. Never invite him for dinner even if he gives you a chicken every time you arrive at his house. The above speech, which shows the real intention of the Christian missionary journey in Africa, was exposed to the world by Mr. Mukwani Bukoko, born in the Congo in 1915, and who in 1935, while working in the Congo, bought a second-hand Bible from a Belgian priest who forgot the speech in the Bible.
That's why a lot of people are saying this is the age of awakening. We'll ban Islam and Christianity in this country.
You said you were a Muslim?
Yes.
We should ban your own people.
Speaking the truth against your own religion has nothing to do with atheism or evil. These Arabians were those who enslaved our forefathers. They even castrated them.
That's what was Jesus?
Jesus, there was nobody called Jesus. They said Abdul Latif, but can call me Nana Prodi. Yes, we were born into Islam, so we're given these names. They said we are God's children, we fear God the most, so they should pass through religion and tell us that Allah abhors spirituality, so we shouldn't dive into spirituality as Muslims. When you go to Arabia, they've entered into the covenant with Allah, and they have coerced the whole of Arabia to worship that Allah. This was done by one King Saud. He fought the other tribes and then composed them into a country called Saudi Arabia. So all Muslims, including me in Africa, we are worshiping the Arabian God. And all Christians in Africa are worshiping the European God, who is Jesus. The Arabian God is Allah, and the European God is Jesus. Anybody who gave that spirit the name Allah.
You mentioned it, you become a slave to that person,
Good.
and that spirit become powerful for that person. Who gave it that name?
You gave him that name.
Because you are calling that name in the person's name.
But you are calling the spirit through the person. So we all Muslims on the African continent who are slaughtering livestock or animals in the name of Allah are actually doing that for the Arabians. That is why they don't do anything in that country. They don't work, but they are living in all places. So when you leave your land's gods and you're worshiping other people's gods, they can't bless you because your forefathers didn't have a covenant with them.
How do we take her back? Tell me.
Good. So we'll get there.
No. Let's talk about that now.
The best way to take her back is to ban all foreign religions. That is what Rwanda did. And today Rwanda is now like heaven. Paul Kagame came and closed all churches and mosques.
So we should ban them and do what?
We should close all churches and mosques. And then we can even turn them into factories and what have you. Then we should change all our names back to our ancestors. The very person who enslaved your ancestor, your forefather, is the same person who came and taught you your religion and your concept of God. Do you think the person will tell you the truth? Yes. These Arabians were those who enslaved our forefathers. They even castrated them. And it's these same people who came and they taught us our concept of God. And they are telling us Allah is the creator. That is what they are supposed to do. So when they brought Christianity to Africa, our forefathers knew the secret. They told them, you are not those to teach us who God is. We knew God before you. The white people didn't know anything. So they gave them order to war with them, conquer them, and coerce them into the religion. The Jesus they are trying, the word Christ originated from Egypt, which is Karast. So that is why we have several denominations in Christianity and several sects in Islam.
All because of business.
Business. Saudi gets about $120 billion every year out of pilgrimage. So we have two forms of Christians. The false religion, which they've converted a lot of people into it. So you are just there wasting your time. You raise your hand to pray to a false God. You're praying to nobody. But they do the practicality over there in the Catholic Church, the Vatican. So right now, as I speak, the Vatican, which constitutes about 802 people in the 2020 population census, that year, 802 people, with a land mass of 0.2 square kilometers, is richer than the whole of African continent. And it is the richest single entity in the whole world, second to only the United States government. They have assets worth over $10 trillion. Because when they opened the churches worldwide, when the tithes were coming, they didn't spend them, they invested them. And they also do the practicality over there to get what they want. And they told you, you should raise up your hands and pray. So we have prayed up to date, we've got nothing. And we are not even asking ourselves, is it these people, haven't they lied to us? And they don't even care about African Christians who are wallowing in poverty. So anybody who creates a religion, that person and their children, their children's children, and their descendants will live in comfort, luxury. They'll be enjoying lives on this earth till the end of time. And you, the convert, will be wallowing in poverty. They will come and tell you when you die, you go to some false heaven.
Some what?
False heaven. Whilst they are living in heaven here. So when the Vatican, the Catholic Church was amassing wealth, others came to realize it. Britain and America saw that there was something secret they were keeping from them. So they also severed themselves and formed the Anglican Church, English American Church. Then that was when other people started creating. So that is why we have several denominations in Christianity and several sects in Islam.
All because of business.
Business. So the Arabians, the Saudi monarch is richer than the whole of African continent. But he's not even helping we, the poor Muslims in this country. And every year, we still send money to them in the form of pilgrimage. And they are taking. Saudi gets about $120 billion every year out of pilgrimage. We have Hajj and we have Umrah. So we Muslims in Ghana are the poorest in this country, but we still send money to these people. When I was telling my people, they got angry. So I kept quiet. And I told them, let's worship, wallow in poverty, and die. We'll go to heaven. When we are revealing this secret, they told us that anybody who apostatizes, if you renounce Islam, they should kill you. Anybody who speaks against that religion, they should kill you. When you finish, you come and tell me you are God's children.
Revelations.